Hey guys, welcome back to another Second Axe action figure review. Today we're checking out another figure from the Taimanin series, Yukikaze Mizuki, with the front of the box in a red themed color with just the Second Axe logo and the character name. On the back we have lots of different warnings in different languages, mostly about small sharp parts. Since I got this figure second hand from Ami, it was packed in a clear bag instead of the usual tissue wrapped around the box. Removing the figure from the bottom lets us take out the plastic tray that displays the figure and all of its accessories, with the instruction book and base taped to the back. As usual with high quality figures from Japan, the figure's larger joints are separated and wrapped in more plastic, so that the paint rub doesn't occur while in shipment, with even the large strands of hair having their own plastic covers. Yukikaze is an anti-demon ninja like all other Taimanin, trained to fight criminal demons and humans who deal with them. She appears in her own spin-off visual novel named after her, Taimanin Yukikaze, where the gameplay follows from her perspective. Raised by her mother who was an elite Taimanin ninja, and her father, a powerful user of the lightning arts, makes Yukikaze into a prodigy known for her extremely powerful lightning skills. Yukikaze is able to generate extreme levels of electricity that can destroy even high-ranking demons in one hit. Although she has not mastered the lightning arts, she uses her limiter guns to focus her power and shoot out lightning orbs at her targets. Yukikaze being one of the younger sides of the Taimanin, she is naive, stubborn, and even arrogant at times, coming from an insecure side of her that worries that her skill is far below other Taimanin. Yukikaze also has an alternate esports online persona, a famous professional gamer that she keeps secret from the public by covering her face when she streams online. This version of Yukikaze was drawn by the artist Nagisa Aoi, inspired by the Yukikaze 2 visual novel. Let's check out some of the details. Big, bright anime-style red and purple eyes are the focus of the face, with a small bump for the nose and a short smile for the mouth. Large strands of brown hair cover the forehead and sides of the face. A bright brown fades into a darker brown, with the smooth hairstyle transitioning into large strands of hair flowing down the back. Two small joints rest on top of the head, for the pigtail accessories that we will attach later on in the review. The hair flows all the way down to the legs, ending in large strands of hair curling inwards, fading back into a lighter shade of brown. A glossy white and black skin-tight suit covers the chest and body of the figure, with the small details like the fishnet sections, muscle tone, navel, and breast. With no easy way to remove the hair or part the hair to the side, we can open up the strands of hair to get a peek into the sculpting on the back, with the skin tone being much brighter here, showing off the character's tan. A large socket is seen at the lower back where we will be attaching the stand onto later. Glossy red and black armor covers the small framed arms with a bit of fur at the elbow. A metallic black armor with the red trim covers the small arms with red decorative frills at the elbow under the fur. On the hands we have black fingerless gloves with the red trim, with their fingers spread open in a grasping pose for both hands. On the front we have a bikini style armor here with two tones of skin, a lighter brown skin and a darker tan skin. The armor underneath mimics a thong style armor that wraps around the waist. With most of the skin being exposed on the backside, we can see more of that metallic bikini style armor wrapping around the body. Over here we can notice the two large pegs sticking out of the side that will be covered up with frills or gun holsters later on in the review. On the outside of the thighs we have a bit of the legs covered in armor with a red trim, while on the inside the armor lowers, exposing more skin of the thigh area. More exposed skin on the legs are covered in that fishnet effect, with more leg armor here slimming down to just a red trim down to the center, opening back to cover the legs and ending in more of that tuft of fur. We wrap up the details with the heels of the figure, matching the color of the armor with more of that red trim effect on the heels. Let's take a look at the articulation. The head shifts from side to side, but we can see that the small strands of hair do get in the way. Most of the articulation at the neck will be hindered by the large strands of hair, but we can open and bend the strands of hair for a bit more articulation. We have a butterfly joint at the shoulder that allows the shoulder to pivot back and forth and up and down. The arms can fully open and rotate around very easily. And just like the last figure Asagi, the shoulders aren't double jointed but have a good amount of bending range. Unfortunately, the fur does block most of the tight bend. Unlike Asagi, we have no rotation at the elbow or bicep, meaning the only rotation you're going to get is from the shoulder. The hands can fully rotate with a very slight bending of upward and downward range. We have an ab crunch at the chest, allowing some decent forward and backwards range and a bit of rotation. And we have more forward and backward bending at the waist along with more rotation. The pelvic section freely floats on its own, bending up and down based on the pose. Just like Asagi, we have the unique style of leg joints. It takes some time to learn, but allows you to get some extreme range on the legs. We have a cut at the thighs that rotate. Double jointed knees that have a great range and bend all the way back. Ankles that bend up and down and rotate. And the toe that bends up and down. Second Axe advertises this figure as a non-scale, so it basically scales to whatever height they want to release the figure in. Yukikaze stands at 5.5 inches tall or just under 14 centimeters. As a Japanese figure, they scale very well with other brands from Japan. Here we're standing next to a Figma Darkness. Next to Hasbro's 6-inch Western scale, Yukikaze runs a bit smaller but still pairs up well with the smaller framed Hasbro figures. Next to some more common size 6-inch action figures, we can see how she sizes up to a more standard size figure at this scale. Standing next to Mythic Legions, who run a bit taller on the side of figures, we can start to see how short she can be next to companies that run on the higher end of the 6-inch scale. Although the smaller figures do fit in well with Yukikaze. Included with the figure is an instruction book in Japanese on how to attach the accessories. We come with a pair of pigtails, long strands of hair, and ribbons. They are plugged with a small peg that needs to be removed before being installed. To install the pigtails, you can use the two small peg joints at the top of the head. The hair easily plugs in and holds into place and makes the figure a bit more delicate to pose with. We have a set of alternate faces, starting with an angered face. We have a face in a frustrated pouting expression, a surprised or yelling expression face, and a classic ahegao face with the tongue out. Installing the face is one of the simpler features on this figure. You can start by removing the hair by gently pulling it off, then the faceplate in the same way. Afterwards, you can install a new faceplate by matching the sockets to the pegs, then reattach the hair. We get a pair of skirt frills with an attached lightning shooters holstered, another pair of the skirt frills with the holsters without the lightning shooters, and we have a pair of the skirt frills by themselves without holsters. The skirt frills attach to the large peg sticking out of the side of the figure. This is an extremely tight fit, and I recommend heating up the frill socket before attempting to install. We have a pair of hands in the open palm style, another pair of hands in the peace gesture, and a pair of hands to hold the weapon in a trigger finger pose. To install the hands, the originals can easily pop out and are swapped with the alternate pairs. We have a pair of left-handed and right-handed lightning shooters, detailed with gold and blue paint. We can use the trigger finger hands to easily slide them into the guns. We get a featureless black plain glossy base with a large socket at the back. We get an arm for the base that can articulate at 4 different points. The arm pegs into the base to support the figure. Unlike Asagi's base that comes with a claw, in order to attach it to Yukikaze, you'll have to peg it into the socket on the back of the figure. This is a bit difficult with all the hair in the way. And to keep this review safe for work, the not safe for work parts are going to be linked at the end of the video or video description. So check out the end of the video or the description if you want to see the full review. As one of the more popular spin-off characters of the Taimanin series, Yukikaze was an obvious choice to make as a next figure from Second Axe. Her small body frame and strands of hair make this figure extremely delicate, with lots of the joints requiring heating up to swap out to other parts. Just like the last release, Yukikaze only comes with one set of accessories included, with the alternate parts such as the extra body options and facial expressions only available as exclusive accessories sold in their own packs, that you could only get if you lived in Japan or used a third-party personal shopper. So at the current price she sold for, just like Asagi, it feels somewhat bad to miss out on a complete set of accessories even while paying a premium price. Second Axe does a great job with the articulation options on the figure, but compared to Asagi, Yukikaze definitely lacks in a few areas, especially the neck where the hair just completely hinders a ton of the articulation. The legs use a unique style of articulation that is the same as the past release figures, taking a few minutes to learn how to twist and churn for the best looking results while hiding the joints. But with such a large hairstyle and pigtails, it definitely feels like a puzzle trying to recreate a few poses seen on the promotional images, having to twist and churn each body part to get a seamless look. For the accessories, we get quite a few facial expressions, hand gestures, and frills to attach to the body. Most of these accessories are extremely tight to swap out, resulting in me needing to heat up the sockets to attach to the figure. While the plastic is of a quality feel, she's so lightweight and the pegs are so small that I still handle her with extreme care, as I really do feel like the smaller parts can snap off easily. Hardcore fans of Yukikaze already know what they're getting into with this character. For the lewd figure collectors out there, you know that this figure is pretty pricey, especially in the aftermarket. And compared to Asagi, this figure doesn't have much lewd features, as most of those parts were only included in the alternate accessory pack exclusive to Japan. Yukikaze is definitely a great figure from Second Axe. It'll take a few minutes to figure out the articulation, and it definitely feels like once you set her in a pose, you'll keep her that way forever thanks to how delicate and small she feels in your hands. Overall, it's another solid figure from Second Axe, with a bit of a learning curve to get into the more dynamic poses. If you can find one close to retail, she's definitely worth picking up for the hardcore Yukikaze fans out there. And just a reminder that the lewd parts are in another video linked at the end of this review. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Leave a comment letting me know how you like this figure, subscribe, or share this video with your friends to help out the channel.